Hey everyone, my name once again is Cedric Harding. I have my I got usually I don't wear hats during presentation, but my brother, I haven't seen him in years, and he bought me this as a gift, so I'm rocking it today. All right, but your eyes won't be focused on me. It will be focused on this presentation, which today I'm talking about one of my favorite carriers, Americo. All right, so it's gonna be real abbreviated. I don't wanna, everyone's gonna be have their different ways of working with the carrier. So I just want to hit the basics. We're going to talk about final expense, simplify issue, and just using Americo, one of their top products, which is Eagle Premier. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right. It's always when you got multiple screens, you got to get this done the right way. And let's see where we at screen. Go back, and we're gonna hit cancel this. I should have been ready. I should have been ready. And boom. All right, here we go. All right, let's go. I jumped ahead a little bit, but this, like I said, this one's gonna be on a Americo, right? And let's see. There we go. All right. Hopefully you can see this. All right. So it's going to be on Americo. And let's get started. Find out where my mouse is. Little discombobulated. All right. There we go. All right. So this is what I make all the agents do. So I believe in we want to bring hope back to the community. All right. So have people believe in how important life insurance is and make the conversation a daily conversation that's normal. All right. So, this is something that I ask several agents to do is just take this one small oath and the things that we do. Say your name, agree to accept the challenge to protect every client I encounter. I will be the bridge to lead the client to the best carrier. I will place the client first and bring hope to every community. All right. So that's the thing that I love to do because that's what I'm here for. If you follow my class on social media, my social media training, then you'll see why I made this statement and why I brought this up. All right. So this is definitely for those of you that are independent agents. Okay. All right. So one of the things that I love to do, I found this out on YouTube. I use this because this was pretty cool. Is some most agents use the dime method. So just to recap on a couple things, I just want you to have this, debt, income, mortgage, education. These are things that you should always be taking care of when you're looking to help your clients. Okay, before you even get into this, so there's no such thing as what you call a chargeback. Okay, all right. So we got the simplified versus the guarantee issue. So the first thing I want to do is just explain what these were. So to simplify, just to shorten this up, and you can read this because it's here on your screen. It's basically when you're doing a simplified issue, it's just really that there's a questionnaire, a health questionnaire, right? So the guarantee issue, hey, I don't want to look at anything. Let's just put this in, let's get the client covered, right? But the con is, it's not really a con, but the con is you don't guarantee issue, you might not get as much coverage unless you answer that questionnaire, right? So you got to see basically what the client's needs are before you get into choosing which one. So you want to do I can't say you want to do this one over that one. It's based on what your client needs. Okay, so there was the definition of what that was. So I just want to clarify what we were actually talking about, right? As we get into Americo's Eagle Premier product. All right, so I kind of spilled the beans. I'll just spoiler alert. So there's several different carriers that everyone has. These are just the some of the popular ones that's out there. Okay, So, I like Foresters, I like Silac. Looking at Aetna, they don't have a weight scale, which is pretty cool. I think Gerber, they have a guaranteed issue. I have a Anico policy myself, but today we're talking about Americo. Okay, so there's a gentleman that I know. He does final expense, and I talked to him. He gave me a call. I had an issue. I had someone that had a significant, a major medical concern, and I didn't know how to cover them. And I reached out to him, and he gave me a guide. He helped me understand, give me more clarity on final expense. So when I broke this down, I looked at everything, right? Um, there are many, there it was like, okay, let me talk to my agents about this. And then if you're new and you're learning, this is really for you. Those of you that are seasoned should know this already, or you're learning it, but you have an understanding. Final expense is really just a, a catch-all name, right? So then for those of you see guarantee issue, whole life, simplified issue, whole life, underwritten, whole life, underwritten, guarantee universal life, right? So then we're looking at final expense based going back and looking at that list of carriers. Most of them pretty much cover final expense, not all, but most of them, right? So then when you're looking and you're logging into your portals for your different carriers, then guess what? They're not going to say final expense, right? So like for example, one of the ones that I learned when I first started with Mutual Omaha, they had something called Living Promise. Okay. So then it doesn't say final expense, but we knew that there was their final expense product, the Living Promise. Okay. So then we're talking about Americo. So, and I'm giving you the definitions of final expense. So here it is right here. Okay. So you see that? All right. So I didn't put all the carriers. There's several carriers that Mr. Mr. J had provided to me. And as I looked at the list and looked around the industry, these were some of the carriers that I fell in love with. So, and you see A, C, D, my alphabets. I know my alphabets. I just took out the ones that I wanted to focus on, right? So then you got Gerber, right? And just to show you the difference, that's why some are not shown because they were the same. I want to show you ones that had a difference, right? 5 to 25,000 or age 50 to 80. Great Western is 40 to 80, 1 to 40K. Now this is dated as of 29 April 2022. So just make sure you always go back and look at the latest and greatest on the carrier just in case things change, right? Now there is another carrier that's out there that's now doing 0 to 80. But if you want to learn more about that, you got to reach out to me so I can tell you about that and tell you how to get contracted for that carrier. Now we're talking about Americo. All right, so Americo is 50 to 80, right? And we're talking about so remember this, knocking on wood. And you see challenge at the bottom of the slide. I'm putting that because these are the things that you need to know that stands out. So guarantee issue, Americo does 50 to 80, 5 to 10,000 guarantee issue. The difference between Americo and the others are Gerber and Great Western have a 2-year graded period, 3-year graded period for Americo. And at the end of the presentation, I'll break out how they came to be. But you got to remember, guarantee issue 5 to 10K. And I'll tell you, break down why that's on a 3-year period. All right. Simplify issue. Why? What made it simple? What do you need for the simplified issue? What's the one thing that they're asking about? Yes, the health questionnaire. Okay, fill that out. Now you're looking at just going to Americo. Now we just talked about guarantee issue was up to 10K. Simplified issue is up to 30K, 50 to 85. Let me go back. Well, it was the guarantee issue was 50 to 80. Now guarantee issue is 50 to 80, stomping on the floor. Simplified issue is 50 to 85. So 5,000 instead of going to 10K, now we're going to 30K, which is pretty awesome. So death benefits, so just explaining, death benefits from the 1,000, 1,200, basically $1,200 to 50K. Issue ages of 40 to 85, right? So that was just based on these ones that I'm presenting right here. And like I said, there's one. 0 to 80. If you want to know about it, reach out to me and I can tell you more how to get contracted with that one carrier. And that may be for a limited time. I don't know how long that is going to be for. All right. So whole life. All right. Does America offer whole life? And there you go. $5,000 minimum death benefit, issue ages through 80. So I want to talk more about whole life because this is you can see it right there. All right, and pretty much lays everything out. And many of you are very well versed on whole life. All right, so what rating? I am huge on learning about the carrier. So if I'm going to come to a client and talk about America, right, I need to know where they stand. And like I said, everything's going to change. Everything's subject to change. I gave you the date. They can go up, they can go down, they can stay the same. But here you go. Here's the rating for America. So they're the third out of 15 rating categories. AM's best rating. They're pretty good. You want to have somebody up there. You want to have a carrier that's going to support your client, that's going to be there. You don't have to worry about any of those small things. And sometimes the client is going to ask you, especially if you run into somebody that's well versed in a financial solutions area, but they using a professional like yourself to figure things out. And why you, when I gave you that oath in the beginning, why you're being a bridge and why you're leading them to this company. All right, so cool things to know. The cool things to know. All right, they got the quit smoking advantage incentive, which I love it, right? So if you can have them apply, if you have a smoker, you can have them apply and put them down as a non-smoker, which is pretty cool. But guess what? They said they're gonna quit smoking. So they got between the second and third year, to really get this done. They got to get this done before the fourth year rolls around, right? I had to take a test, and they got to pass that test, right? Not going to speak on how many times they got to take the test. I believe it's just one. You only need to take that one time, but between the second and third years, when they need to get it done, basically, right? And then they got policies that's geared towards mortgage costs, the cash benefit offer and things, which you would say some of you refer to it as a return of premium option and things like that. They got different names for it, but they have the mortgage costs, and that's one of their biggest things that they have. And then they also offer in the District of Columbia, which is pretty cool. A lot of carriers don't cover that area. So if you are looking for someone to be covered in that area, Americo. Yes. All right. So now the cool thing is they support independent insurance agents. So the only way that somebody's gonna get coverage is through you. Okay, so you can look that up. It says there, it's right there in writing, and that's why they benefit the agents. So just remember that. All right. So looking at it, here's a breakdown. You look at the pros and cons. I like to know how old the carrier is. I'm just a uh, history head when it comes to that. They've been around since 1946. Tells about the type of plans. And the reason why you got to know this is because if you bring it to the client, they're going to go back and do their homework if they're a technical person They're gonna look, oh man, they quotes not available for most policies. I couldn't guess what? They're gonna tell you that they couldn't find a quote online. Guess what? Because I just told you they only can get it through you. So now that you know that, those were the cons. Website has limited information because they're going through you. All right, few riders for customization, but when you look at it, you got to look at the amounts of coverage. So when you get in there and start playing around, then you'll see that. So they're good to good financial ratings, the pyramid, and the coverage in most states. Okay. All right. Now, now my agents, right, that are watching this. Now, if you go on your back office, you're going to use either the mobile portion, or you'll use the carrier website. But either way, whatever, no matter what you do, you're going to go to, I'm going to give you these in steps. You got to remember these. All right. You want to get access to the agent portal. So when you go to the agent portal, now remember, there's going to be two. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be two. One's going to be basically so you can find all your products and material and track your business and things like that. And you got to register, have an account there. Okay. All right. So that, and it says it right there. There's the number for you if you need it. Go ahead and make sure that you register. Right. Then the next thing, you have, once you get there, you're gonna do, the register here, put in your last four, your agent number, and then there you see me, this almighty Cedric Harding. As once I became independent, then I applied for access, and this is the email confirmation that I received, and the same one that you should receive unless they change it later down the line. Okay. Now I got my access. I'm in there like swimwear. Okay. So remember I talked about they talked, well, in this industry, you want to have a good, your persistency rating, right? Who's keeping their policies, what's your placement and things like that. Okay, so when you get in here, you have these cool gadgets, and you have they actually have live demos, so you don't have to play around with the application and go on a live website and do things. They actually have a cool demo that walks you through that entire process, especially if you're brand new. All right. Or even if you're seasoned and you just got access to this carrier. And one thing I learned about this industry is you just got to be able to have access, and then start playing around with it. Now, on the right hand side where you see final expense, because this is what we're talking about, there's a drop down of everything that they have, and you can see everything that you need and get all the resources that you need too as well. So in order to get to the next portion, can you do the app from here? The answer is no. You're not going to do, you're just going to track your business on this website. So guess what? I'm sorry to say, you got to you got to gain access to another website so you can submit your app. Unless your back office or however you got it set up has a cheat to get to another portal, then I'm gonna give you, this is AMERICO's back office. Right now, you see the circle at the top is the three lines that'll be in the top right hand corner. That's going to lead you to everywhere that you need to go. So you scroll to the bottom, you'll go to sales connection, and then you'll go from there, and boom. Now you're where you really need to be. Where you really need to be. All right. So guess what? You're going to create your account, but just understand this may take about 24 hours. So if you create this account and you're trying to do a policy today, not going to happen. Right? Unless the process speeds up, but more than likely it's 24 to 48 hours. I want to say 24 hours at this time. Is I woke up in the morning and boom, I had access. So these are the things that you need to enter when you're doing this. I made a phone call. It took just about less than 30 minutes, but they're the most friendliest home office that I've seen, right? When it comes to with an individual that answered the phone for myself. Okay. So once you knock this out, boom, you got everything. They close at 5 p.m. Central. Okay. Let's get into it. The Eagle Premier Series. Okay. So if you're looking at that, all right. you're gonna they got the Eagle Premier Series. You're gonna go and create, and then once you're logged in, you got your access. Let's run an illustration. All right, so this is what it looks like from the desktop version of this. Okay. Now there's other what I understand is there are different ways that you can run this to get your quotes. You know, this is not, you might have iPipeline, iGo, or whatever case may be. This might not be there. So you might have to go on this version to find what you need. All right, so I want to show you this. All right, so I'll put this in. Mail in Illinois, 25 October 1980. Now we're talking about final expense here. All right. So if you look at this, you see it's kind of grayed out. It says the Eagle Premier Series final expense whole life. It's not, it's grayed out. Can you tell me why we can't use it? Remember the tip, I gave you the age. So remember that we talked about generally they are 40 to 85, and then they do theirs from, yes, that's the age. Okay. So because this person is 41, they're under age 50, guess what? This is not an option. Remember I talked about the mortgage protection and things like that, the smokers incentive, things like that. This is not something that that's listed. Everything else is available except that one. So you got to go on there and make that change. So now change that to 1960. The person is not from 41, now 61. Now you have access to it. Okay. So looking at that, now you can do the simplified whole life with level or greater death benefit. Okay. Now, now remember, there's two products. There's the Eagle Premier, and you see at the top of it, Eagle Premier Guaranteed Max, right? Remember I said guarantee issue, simplified issue. Guarantee issue, simplified issue. I'm just driving it home so you can just have it in the back of your head. So 10,000, no questionnaire, 30,000 with questionnaire. 10,000, no questionnaire, 30,000 with the questionnaire. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, you put in that Eagle Premier. It's just this easy. This is probably about the easiest ones that I've dealt with so far. There are other companies that have it just as easy, but this is one that is just as good too as well. But you see, Eagle Premier 10,000 monthly non-smoker. Okay, that's what we're rolling with today. All right. So now, let's talk about this. Now, I already gave you the breakdown for this, the guarantee issue, right? So now let's break this down. It's like, why? And why is it 3-year graded period is what we talked about, right? So guess what? Beneficiaries, if the person dies, passes, they transition, year number 1, paid premiums plus 5%. Year 2, 10%. Year 3, 75% of the face amount. Think about what they paid into this. Okay. And then after that, 4 years. Remember, we're past the 3-year graded period. 4 years, 100% of the face amount. Okay. Now the cool thing is you can have the Adb Rider, free of cost, accidental death benefit rider that's added to this free of cost. And guess what? You want to click on that and add that to it. So guess what? If you do that, if something happens, they get the full death benefit. They get the full death benefit. Okay. So mess around and don't click that. Now you're looking at those premiums that's there. Okay. So these are all the cool things that's in there. And then here's just another snapshot of it. All right. What it looks like. It just lays out the price when you put everything in there. This is how easy of what it looks like. Okay. So I'll just give you a snapshot of a lot of things that's there as you look at this. So, all right. So if you have a mobile application, for some that had a mobile application, I was able to find a agent that had a mobile snapshot, and this is what they provided to me. So I gave you the desktop version, and now you're seeing the mobile version of this. Okay. So if you had a mobile version, go ahead and take a test. So you see the information is right there. This is what it looks like. Okay, so that was it. Thank you for joining me for this Americo presentation. All right, I am Cedric Harding from Legacy Smart Group. Okay, if you want to learn more information about the additional carrier that covers from 0 to 80, and you want to get contracted, please reach out to me. I'd love to share that information with you. I'm just that type of down to earth agent, broker, whatever you want to call me. Um, that's who I am. I love to work with individuals so we can reach families across the nation. Have a good day.